All right, we're back answering your questions about the child tax credit with Scott Braddock from Scott Braddock Financial and Ryan Dodson from Liberty Tax Services. Scott, this person says, how will I receive my child tax credit payment?
Oh, well, this time we're going to look at 80% of folks that are eligible for this enhanced child tax credit receiving it by direct deposit. So that's why it's very important to make sure that your information is up to date and current.
All right. Ryan, this person says, will I receive a tax credit if my child turns 18 2 days prior?
Oh, unfortunately not. It doesn't matter if your child turned 18 on January the 1st or if your child turned 18 on December the 31st. Because they turned 18, they're not eligible for the child tax credit.
All right. This person says, okay, they say, what about if I just had a child this year? How do I go about telling the IRS that I should be getting this?
Well, fortunately, the IRS has done a really great job of creating these different portals. And one of those happens to be one that you can update your status and go ahead and notify them that you've had a baby or any other changes in your tax filing status.
All right, and that portal, you guys, is not up and ready yet, but the IRS says it will be coming within the next week or so. Ryan, this person's asking, is the $80,000 income limit required gross or AGI, adjusted after deductions?
That is AGI, so that is above the line deductions income. So that is not after your itemized deductions or anything like that, or taxable income. So it's basically your income.
Okay, so this person is asking, if you are separated and you claim the child every other year, how does that work?
So that's the whole purpose of this portal that's getting ready to come online, because I know there's a lot of families out there that alternate, off of a divorce agreement that, one child claims the kid, or one parent claims the kid one year and the next parent claims the kid the following year. And look, the IRS is going to be running off the 2020 tax returns if they have been filed. And that's why it's important for both of those parents to go into that portal and, for the parent that gets to claim the child in 2021 to make sure the information is entered in there, and for the parent that doesn't claim the child that year to go into the portal and say, hey, look, don't send me any advance payments.
Okay. This person says, what if I didn't get my tax return automatically deposited into my checking? I've always gotten a check, so will I get a check?
Well, he might fall into that 20% that of the outliers that aren't going to receive a direct deposit then. Not everyone's going to receive a direct deposit, and good chance that if he's always received a check, he's going to receive a check this time.
This person is saying, what am I seeing online about my college student between the age of 18 to 24 being eligible for a child tax credit? That's not in this one whatsoever.
That's correct. Not in this one.
Okay, that was maybe something part of the stimulus a while back when it was dependents, but that has nothing to do with this. Okay. This question is, how much money will, it says my child get, but it's not really your child getting the money, it's you getting the money.
That is correct.
Well, it's up to the parent. They could work something out there, but that's right. It's going to the tax filer.
That's right. Okay, and so we're looking at $3,600 for each child for the entire total tax credit, correct? And that's for those who are children under the age of 6.
Correct.
And those kids that are 6 to 17, you're looking at $3,000. This person, Ryan, is asking, will this reduce my refund or maybe require me to pay a tax payment when I file my 2021 taxes?
It shouldn't have that big of an impact on your refund. While granted, let's take for someone who has a child that's say 10 years old and they're going to get, $1,500 worth of advance payments, during 2021 for that. And so normally they would get a $2,000 child tax credit. However, when they go to file their tax return, they'll still get the full $3,000 child tax credit. However, they've already received $1,500 of that in advance. So it may make their refund go down a little bit come time to file their tax return, but it shouldn't be that significant. The advantage is that you're getting it now.
All right, and of course, you can possibly opt out if you do not want to get this tax credit, correct, Scott?
That's correct. There's going to be a portal in which you can go ahead and notify the IRS that you would like to opt out. I think that the government's doing a great thing here by providing this money in advance to help folks that are struggling. even those folks that don't file taxes are going to be able to take advantage of a portal and go ahead and make sure they receive this credit.
All right, so the non-filers portal is already up. The one that tells you that you can opt out or change your address or update it because you have a child that was just born, that one is not up yet. We expect it to come up within the next week or so. Thank you guys for answering what we do know right now about the child tax credit. And of course, if you missed any of this, it will be in the 2 Wants to Know section for you to check out.